helpers, welcome to another episode of Creator Calls. I am Monster Handler Jen, this is Monster Handler Charlie and Monster Handler Ben, and today we are joined by the one and only MattShea. Welcome, MattShea.
Hey, hi, I'm MattShea.
How are you doing today?
There's so many monitors here. I gotta look at the camera. Hi.
So we have a slew of questions for you. I think Monster Handler Ben is gonna kick them off today.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you've been making YouTube content for quite a while. How did you get started?
I originally got into YouTube because Minecraft came out. And my buddy came to me one day, we were in high school, and he was like, hey, have you heard of this game called Minecraft? It's got exploding creepers and you can punch wood. And I was like, what the heck are those things? So he showed me some videos on it, and he was like, he explained that there's this new thing called a Let's Play. He was like, yeah, you play the game, you show other people how to play the game, and then you make a video out of it. And we were like, that's cool. So I got a gaming PC, and then I just started making videos. I had a surgeon simulator video pop off on Reddit. It wasn't commentary or anything. It was just me doing a brain surgery in 20 seconds. And I got comments that said, you should do a Let's Play. Even now, my life is almost the exact same way. It's just, I do a thing, and if people like it, they say do more, and I say, okay. My first MSM video, it was just, that's how it was. They were just like, hey, more please. And then it took another year before everybody else started playing it. So I feel like I got in on the ground floor. It might have been like 9 years into the life of My Singing Monsters, but I do great on 10-year-old games. Don't ask why.
You just make it cool again.
Yeah,
well, we're
exactly.
glad that you have been making lots of My Singing Monsters content. I can speak for all of us in the studio when I say that we love your videos. Mm-hmm. I know that myself and Monster Handler Tyson, every time there's like a trailer and update revealed, we're like, all right, where's the MattShea reaction video? Where's the video?
How did you find out about the game to begin with?
The reason that I ever heard about it in the first place is from the YouTube comments, and I had a lot of people say, hey, you should play My Singing Monsters. People say, people tell me to play games all the time. Like, you should play this game and this game and this game. But I noticed that people were saying it a lot. Like, it was one of those things that came up more often than other games. And I finally, played it myself, and I was like, hey, this actually is really cool. You got the music, and I think people really picked up on my energy as well. Like, I think that is a big part of YouTube, and like finding things that work for your audience is like, you need people to pick up on your energy and like what you're putting out, right? And like, people notice right away, hey, this guy's really into this game, and like he's trying to imitate some of the monsters, and it's funny, and the rest was history.
That's awesome.
And like, speaking of that, when you first started out, you would receive a lot of helpful tips from the community. Were you shocked to find out that we already had a pretty big community?
I wouldn't say it was shocked. I mean, it is a fairly popular game, like looking at like downloads and things like that. And like I said, a lot of people had asked me to play it, so like I wasn't like super shocked or anything, but it was really refreshing to see so many like people get excited about it, like I felt like it had been a while since I had like a series where people were really excited about the series, but there was just an energy there from the audience right away, and I could tell right away that this wasn't just reaching my audience, but also new people in the community. So I was a little surprised. I didn't realize that the game was as popular as it was, and I didn't expect whatever happened over the last year to happen as well. It's the Epic Wellbox. The Epic Wellbox changed everything.
What do you think your community likes the most about your Monsters content?
Probably the My Singing Monsters part, if I'm honest. One thing I've realized on YouTube, okay, not to self-deprecate or anything, I mean, I know like I do a decent job making videos, and I've been doing it a long time, so like sometimes it can seem pretty effortless. I'm just sitting here talking to a camera or whatever, but I do realize that without the games that people actually like on my channel, like if I upload something that isn't My Singing Monsters, I have no idea if it's going to do any good at all. Now, what I try and do is just have a good time, because I believe that if you have a good time on YouTube, people will have a good time watching you have a good time.
Well, I think that your energy definitely fits the game, and the energy of the monsters, and seeing you imitate them is great, and it's really fun to watch. And that brings us to our next question is, what is your favorite part about making My Singing Monsters video content?
I genuinely just enjoy, like, when you guys put out an update, I genuinely enjoy, like, seeing how the new monster is gonna tie in to the other monsters and stuff. I like seeing like the rares and epics as well. Like say like the epic wisp. Like really cool new epics are always awesome as well. But I think I just the music part itself. Like I like how whenever there's a new monster released, it fits in some way into the song, and it's fun to like speculate. Oh, what's it gonna do? And then like I like trying to predict. Like, oh, I think this is what it's gonna do, and then it ends up being like completely different.
So I'm gonna ask you a hard-hitting question. What is your favorite monster, and what is your least favorite monster?
Okay. If I had to just pick like a basic monster to be my favorite, I would probably pick Furcorn. He's just such a lovely little guy. I always think Strombonin now whenever I think of my favorite monster. So like, he just sounds so good. Like I was so shocked when I heard Strombonin for the first time. I was like, wow, I didn't realize this is what it's gonna be, and it sounds amazing. I also have a really big soft spot for the rare Wubbox. As for my least favorite monster, the Wink is pretty terrible sometimes. I mean, I don't. This, you know, the.
It's a hard question. It's incriminating.
It's pretty fun, but I'm just trying to think of like monsters that I look at and I'm like, probably like half the Wublins, if I'm honest, as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Sorry to say it.
And then, what island song gets stuck in your head the most? Or, in other words, what's your favorite island?
What's been stuck in my head?
Why are you asking me these difficult questions?
I know.
Yeah.
I am sorry.
No, it's cool. Here's how it is. Bum 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 bum, bum 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 bum, bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. I always hear Mammoth doing that, and then I hear the Dipsters doing their thing. I think I also get Light Island stuck in my head quite a bit. I feel like Light Island needs more. It feels a little bit empty, but like it's got like a really good melody to it.
Right.
And like I don't often think about the pot belly, but I do often think bop ba da 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 bop bum ba da. So anyway, those are my answers.
Light Island hasn't really
I'm just
been
over here
great
vibing.
lately.
Don't mind me.
In a recent video, you reacted to some concept art. What monsters concept art was your favorite, and what was your least favorite? Another hard-hitting question.
That is a hard-hitting question because like I'm all I can think about is that creepy pom-pom.
What's
She
pretty
looks like
creepy.
she's 40, 60 something years old. Freaked me out.
That's
I'm trying to think of
true.
my favorite. You'd have to watch the video. There's a couple that I was like, you know what? I really like this design, and I wish it was the way it was. Kind of. What's the name of that Lucky Charms one again?
Oh no,
not
Schlep.
Oh, Schlep.
That
Schlep.
Schlep is one of my
The one-
favorites
Lucky
by far.
Charms and instantly.
Yeah, Schlep. Team Schlep.
I like the concept art because there were so many different like options for Schlep.
It's so ugly,
It sounds
cute.
surprisingly good for such a disgusting monster. I mean, it looks
Yeah.
delicious in one way, but also it's a really interesting like kind of juxtaposition. Is it terrible or is it wonderful? I love me Lucky Charms, but I hate this.
I think Schlep is a pretty like office favorite.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Everybody at Big Blue Bubble loves Schlep. Loves all the ugly monsters. Ugly. Okay, so now I have to really ask the hard-hitting questions. How did you mistake a shrub for a sugar fam?
No,
All right.
Sugar Bush.
It's part of the sugar fam.
Okay, but it's got bush in the name. So you tell me why I mistook a shrub for a bush. Oh, let me bust out the university level textbooks here, and I'll try and explain it to you.
Like I was out-sassing you.
Because they're both green. They're shrubby. Okay.
I will give it to you. Shrub does have some similarities to the sugar bush family. We just had to throw that in. You
Sugar,
know?
yeah, I hear every time I think Sugar Bush, I just think of the beatboxing one, but it's not. So
Yep.
I'm sorry.
But aren't they all part of the monster family?
It's true.
yes.
When it really comes down to
It's-
it?
Yeah.
They are. My next hard-hitting question: what possessed you to buy a Grumpire for 1,000 diamonds?
Stupidity. Ignorance. It was ignorance. I didn't really know. I didn't know how to breed it. Okay, this was what, episode 2? Yeah, it was Cold Island, so you know it was early.
Yeah.
And this was like before, like I was fueled entirely by the comments because I had not even looked at the wiki. I didn't even know there was a wiki. Probably I was just like, okay, here's episode 2. I'm gonna click some buttons and I'll see what happens. And I wanted Grumpire. Overall, it was a good idea. Okay, it was one of those mistakes that turned into a win because then I ended up getting. I was in that compilation of YouTubers making mistakes, although there was many mistakes, so it's not like that was the only one, but that was the big one. It was MattShea making painful mistakes, and it was me, like, you know, thousand diamond Grumpire, and yeah.
You just got to make that Grumpire level 20 permanently but bigify, put it on display, and say, I did that.
Yeah, that's right.
My first Grumpire, I think his name was Soot, but I think I have a bunch of Grumpires now, so like there's probably multiple Soots, so.
Definitely. They should
I'm
all
not
be
even
named
sure
that.
which one it would be. Maybe I'll have to do some research. I might be able to find out. And then level 20 Bigify.
Definitely. You gotta put your mistakes out on display, right?
Right.
You gotta own it. If you were to create your own monster, what would it look like? How would it sound? And what island would it go on?
I have this really weird like niche dream of a mummer island. You don't even know what a mummer is probably. It's a Newfoundland tradition. It doesn't really happen much anymore. What you do is you dress up in whatever. You put like sheets, almost like a ghost would. You put like a sheet over your head, and then you put on all these layers, and you put your undergarments outside the layers, and you run around with your ugly stick, which is a stick with like bottle caps nailed to it, and like a doll's head ripped off and stuck on the top. Like this is real. It's real stuff.
This is great.
And then they go to people's houses. They knock on the door and they say, "Any mummers allowed in?" And then I don't know. I think they just come in the house. Then I don't even think they need permission. They come in your house and they dance around and they play accordion and they play their ugly stick and they play the spoons, which is another Newfoundland thing. It's just 2 spoons. You take 2 spoons, almost like you're using
we are
chopsticks.
very familiar with the spoons.
Okay, so it's other places too. Good. At least you know what spoons are. And I think it would just be great to actually have like a bunch of mummers, like, and they'll be dressed in like Newfoundland sort of like classic mummer dress, and then they would just make the noises of a kitchen party.
That's actually
one thing
not a
about the
bad
kitchen
I
party.
love all of
It's
this.
actually not a bad
Monster
idea.
Handler Matt, get in here.
It's basically like home invasion after home invasion, and they do it on like Christmas Eve, sort of. I think and then the whole point is you're supposed to guess who everybody is, and it's very weird. And like I said, we don't really do it anymore, but it'd be really cool to see like monsters like that, like mummer monsters. You guys are gonna have to do some research, just out of curiosity.
For some reason,
Enjoy.
I picture your monster on like the grid, like a 3x3 grid, but there's like 3 of them,
Oh.
like dancing with each other or something like that.
That's fun.
Hey, that'd
One's
be cool.
got spoons, one's got the ugly stick, and the other one just says slapping.
Yeah. Thank you so much, MattShea, for hanging out with us today on our creator calls. And I think that we all know what we gotta say now. 3, 2, 1. Happy monstering!